And hello, I'm Chris. I'm from Sam Radio and Sam Radio in Scotland, and I'm here today with the one and only Metal Matt, a musician from Bristol in England. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thanks, Chris. It's good to be on with you again. It's been a couple of years since we've done it.
Absolutely. Played you on the show as well, so you probably know by my shows, obviously, by you. I played your songs and singles, and you know what. So
yeah, no, you played a lot of my music on the show. It's cool.
So what projects have you been working on lately?
Well, I've been doing quite a bit. It's been good. I've been working with a guy called Carmine lately for the past few songs, and he's from Las Vegas. It all happened really naturally, really. He messaged me on Instagram and was like, "Oh, I can do some music with you, or do you want to do a song or something like that?" And I was like, "Yeah, definitely." And he was really good. He plays like amazingly. He's kind of classically trained. I think he knows all the T-Sets, but he loves his metal, so he did the songs Burn the Priest and the King of Hearts, and the latest two, Free and the Viking Song. So yeah, he's got a really good skill, and we kind of have the same mindset.
Totally.
Yeah, we have the same kind of mindset, which is cool. So we kind of work well together, and we kind of have the same vision, which is rare to find. So yeah, it's been nice working with him. So yeah, a good few songs we've done now.
Yeah, it sounds great. It sounds like it's good to get someone to actually produce your songs and that, and not just relying on yourself all the time, mate. So it's great. It's a great way. So yeah. So you've been doing, how many years have you been doing that for?
Well, it's only with him. I've been doing it only a couple of months now, a few months.
Oh, so alright, so not too long then.
No, but we've kind of clicked, and it's worked out well.
Okay. So I've noticed you've had a lot of themes in your music videos, and Robot, Pirate, and now Viking. What makes you come up with these ideas?
Well, it's been a funny one. I like doing different characters in the music videos. So like you say, I've done a lot. So I've done like a priest, I've done a king, a Viking, you know, robot, pirate, and to me, it's just to kind of make the themes more interesting, the videos more interesting. Not many people try and make things sort of interesting these days that much. So I kind of like. I just think it's cool, and I like getting into different characters and trying different characters. Or whatever.
It's like in the West End and that as well. Everyone just has their sort of own sort of attire, their gimmick and that, and it sort of changes when they move on to another.
That's it. It's kind of like you say, my gimmick or whatever you want to call it. It's my thing, sort of different characters, and I try and do the songs. You know, they fit with the songs somewhat, and that's
totally.
That's the fun of it. Yeah, it's good.
It's good to do with that music. Good to have variety. It's not like you write an album that you have every song sounding exactly the same, and then you
keep it fresh.
Have so many other bands that just do the variety, like yourself, do variety stuff, like one man projects. Like
exactly. It's kind of
changes. So, what songwriting did you do lyrics and ideas, and what ideas came from?
What, the lyric? Where did the ideas for the lyrics come from? Kind of like various things. I mean, I try and keep it as real as possible. So like, you know, I wrote about like love things that I went through and that, but I don't go through all that stuff so much now, so I keep to myself. But I used to write a lot about that kind of stuff, and like sort of things that kind of get in my mind, you know, and I need to get them out, you know, like you know, Wake Up was kind of just about technology taking over and everybody being to social media and stuff like that, so that was quite a good theme to work with. Changes in You, that was about, like I said, that was like my first love, so that was a different theme again. And this Viking Song, which is one of the latest ones, I've never liked Viking metal, but it's a route I thought I've got to go down at some point, so I thought I might as well do it now, get it done.
And industrial metal next.
Industrial metal. I haven't done any of that. It is in mind, actually. I want to do some of that vocal, that kind of screamo vocal, if you want to call it that.
Oh, you're going to get into that then?
Say that again?
You're going to get into that sort of...
I might. I want to do a little bit of that kind of... stuff.
Like
Yeah,
deathcore, metalcore,
guttural type stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
You try and
quite
see
good.
some of these
And
bands
I've
and
done
that
a
as
lot of
well.
black metal voice and vocals, but
Yeah,
there's kind of different type of voice I want to work with, kind of more that new metal scream kind of thing, which I know I could
yeah,
do. Just I haven't really had the right kind of music to do, and I'm not that into that kind of music, but the vocal thing I'd like to work with. So
yeah.
yeah,
The band Architects might be the idea to get into that sort of screamo thing. They're funny.
yeah.
They're like that sort of screamo, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
All that. Bring the Horizon
Mm,
and Bloody
exactly.
Temple.
Yeah.
Some of the
Yeah.
UK ones as well. It's a big
Mm,
thing in the UK. This screamo thing as well. It's sort of in between the States and the UK. It's metalcore and deathcore. It's kind of been big in both countries actually.
yeah, it's got pretty big, that style, hasn't it? It really has.
Yeah, like Rona, and like pretty much like every band's doing that nowadays. It's like the sort of norm now of metal bands.
Yeah, they're all doing
Listen
that
to
kind
a
of
lot of
stuff. I
them.
don't even want to touch on that modern metal sound for like a song or something. I don't like how these bands stick with that one sound for ages, and then it's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a
good.
bit boring
I
sometimes
like
as well.
trying different things, but I don't like sticking to one sound or theme or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So next one then. So what musicians inspire you the most?
What musicians inspire me the most? I like everything, so I'm into so many different styles. Lately, Morrissey has been very inspiring. I love his songwriting and how real he is.
Yeah, Morrissey from the Smiths.
Yeah, him I find really cool actually. Morrissey. Trying to think. Yeah, I mean Judas Priest. But I like a lot of different kinds of music. 80s pop as well and stuff. So like,
Yeah.
I can take influence from all sorts of directions.
My
Really.
thing before I got into metal, 80s music was my jam as well.
Was it? Yeah, it's a good. I think the best music was in the 80s for sure.
Next one, how long have you been singing for?
I have been singing for about 5 years. Because it's I started off with guitar, so I did quite a bit of that. And so that was kind of my main thing for quite a long time. And then
that's good.
And then I took to singing, and it's kind of like I just loved singers so much. Like that was my thing. It's always voices which kind of grab me the most from thing. I just love unique voices and stuff. So I think I had such an interest in singing. I just started singing at some point, and I think it was Judas Priest inspired me mainly to get singing. When I heard Rob's voice, it's like, wow, I love high notes and stuff, but I didn't know I could do high notes, and I just worked on it. Kind of come out, and I kind of just to this day I just work with it and try different vocal techniques.
You always sort of nail the sort of high that he does as well.
I try. It's a hard one. He's got a specific tone. Lots of people talk about vocal kind of tones and stuff. Like people say, oh, is Rob Halford falsetto? Because he doesn't sound like King Diamond, who's falsetto and stuff. But I believe it is reinforced falsetto. So it's kind of like you get falsetto like Jimmy Somerville or the Bee Gees, that kind of but all it is bringing that out, but making it more metal. So it's like
it's like all the sort of hair metal bands do that sort of thing as well. In a way.
Yeah, they do. It's the same sound, but with some grit. So it's not like soft 80s pop, but it's that style almost, that voice, but you bring it to a different level.
Make it a bit more sort of beefier on that as well, so it makes it stand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's good then. Right, so next question then. So what would you say is the advice to go from being a small artist to being a big one?
I mean, for me, it's all about mindset. So like to go from a small artist to a big one is like it seems like something that's almost impossible. I think for a lot of musicians, you kind of think, how do you do it? Are you waiting to be spotted by a record label or somebody, or does it just happen and all this stuff? But to me, I'll tell you what's worked for me. It is like manifesting like a mindset where you manifest things that you want to happen in your life. It's kind of a spiritual kind of philosophy, I guess, but it's like you know, you put out what you want to the universe and it kind of works out, but it's kind of in a subconscious way you do it. Like but all my life I've kind of been set on things, what I want to happen, and I've always just had this thing inbuilt where I'm like, that will happen, and I don't have that doubt. And I think it's that doubt where people sort of put themselves off ideas, which stops things from happening. But when you really have a vision and you stick to it, and you get in that mindset where it is going to happen, it often does just happen. That's what I found. You know, you can manifest the outcome almost just by you know, it's all a mindset, and it's kind of, you don't think about it too deeply, you just know that you're set on that obstacle, not that obstacle, that goal, and you don't let any obstacles get in the way, and that is when things happen. You know, if you want to get bigger, then you know, stick to what you want to happen, and you know, don't let any doubt come in, just stick on your path, you know.
Yeah, that sounds great. It sounds great, mate. Right, so the next one then, so and being a musician, and which makes music for an online audience, how do you deal with trolls and haters and criticism?
Criticism online, you mean?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Well, you're always going to get it, basically. You're always going to have, you know, people who want to bring you down, or, you know, and funny enough, I did a song called Troll Song after being trolled or whatever once, which I can't even remember who the troll was now because they're so obsolete. You know, they don't.
Yeah, they're gone away.
Yeah, but I did do this song, Troll Song, and it went down really well. And it's funny, I tried to just put all the things. It was a comedy song kind of thing, and I put all the themes of what trolls are. You know, like they're still there living at home, and they're on their laptop all day, and you know, all that kind of stuff. And like it went down really well. On TikTok recently, which I didn't realize. I got on TikTok and I looked at my songs on there, and I saw like 900 people had reacted to that song. So it's funny, you know, that was a great direct way of dealing with trolls. But no, what I'd say though, with criticism and stuff, there's this thing people always say where they say, oh, you must take criticism, and oh, we can't take criticism, and oh, it's constructive criticism and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, the way I look at it, I've never felt a need to put my opinion on people that strongly. Like, I accept what other people do and their choices, and like, I don't understand these people who will go out their way, and I think it's like a narcissism thing where they feel like they need to tell you what's going on. You know, like they need to put their opinion in and kind of like they're right, you know, and you know, my advice is don't take criticism. don't go along with all the constructive criticism that they say is constructive, because it often isn't constructive, it's destructive, and it's their way of trying to bring you down. And you know, I'm my own worst critic, you know. I analyze all the music I do, and I try and improve every time, and I know when I'm not that happy with something or whatever, and I don't need other people saying it, because I'm my own worst critic. And it's kind of a thing, you're only going to make unique stuff if you just keep doing what you want to do. If you start listening to all these people's opinions, you're going to just end up with this cloned version of what everyone else has accepted as the way things are, you know, like a style of music. You know, if you listen to everyone, it's just going to end up like new metal or whatever, where all the bands sound the same, you know. So the only way to be unique, I think, is forget the criticism, don't listen to it, keep doing what you want to do, whether people like it or not, because there will be people who like it, and they're the ones you're trying to please. Forget the people who don't like it, because they're never going to like it. So yeah, that's how I deal with criticism.
You've sang with some well-known people. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, I have sang with a few people. Yeah, so Steel Panther, that was cool. When they came to Bristol, I jammed with them, and it was a rare track, which nobody's like really done that, because it's like a strange vocal style, that high, you know, bear witness, that kind of high voice, Rob Halford style. So it was a fight song, and Satchel was in Fight basically before Steel Panther, which was Rob's solo band after he left Judas Priest for a while. And,
yeah, I didn't know he was in Fight Satchel.
Yeah,
I thought he was.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's a fantastic guitarist, and I love the Fight stuff. So when I saw them, when Steel Panther come to town, you know, they did this little acoustic thing, and you know,
yeah, what's that?
I'd say I manifested that as well, because weeks before I remember just messaging Steel Panther and saying, "Oh, I'd love to jam." I think I did say that song as well. I'd love to jam Into the Pit with you, and I didn't hear back or nothing. You know, there was nothing sort of said, and I don't even know if they read it. But on the day, everything just worked out. I didn't even know they were doing an acoustic thing, and I just sort of was there hanging around to meet them by the tour bus, and then there was this thing on at the pub nearby, and I just went along, and it all just happened. And Styx was like, "Oh, do you want to sing?" And I was like, "Yeah," and then it happened. And I still keep in touch with Satchel. He's a great guy, and he's good to chat to. And but actually singing with him was brilliant. So I've sang with Steel Panther, and it was just great because it had never been done acoustic, that song either. So it was it's such a heavy song. I had to scream, you know, to this acoustic version, but it was fun. I love acoustic versions of metal songs, so it was right down my street. And I've also sang with John Foster from Bronxy Beat, which is a little different because it's my own song, which he guested on, and he's really cool. So he sang with Bronxy Beat, I think, after Jimmy Somerville left. He come in and he did this amazing song, Hit That Perfect Beat.
Yeah,
I've loved since I was a kid. I remember my dad showing it to me once, and I was like, "Oh, I love this song." And then years later, he's singing on my song. You know, I just got in touch with him, and he said, "Oh, wow, what a voice!" And he was up for guesting on it. So I was like, "Wow!" So that's actually my favourite song I've done because he's on it. I just love that I've sang with a classic '80s, you know, singer like John.
Yeah, that's grand.
John Foster. And I just the whole experience was great, and I love synth music as well. Although I'm metal Matt,
yeah,
I love synthesizer. Yeah, synth pop. A lot of fun. It's I love that song, and I've also done a thing with Tim Ripper Owens. He's guested on a couple of my songs, like I say. You know, he sang with Priest, so that's a big deal because they're my favourite band. So he was another cool one to have, you know.
That's good. It's good to hear that, mate. It's good. Some big names, eh?
Yeah.
So next question then, and so what has it been an independent artist and not being on a label? How do you promote yourself?
So how do I promote without being on a label?
Yeah.
I've tried different things. So I've tried like all the social media advertising, which I haven't found works very well at all, like Instagram advertising, Facebook advertising. Unfortunately, Instagram, I've got a lot of followers, over 20,000, but at some point they completely shadow banned like my content, so my stuff isn't getting pushed out there to my followers. It's getting pushed out to a small percentage of them. They do that to make you advertise, and then I have had to advertise, like to spend money. They want you to spend money, so they decrease who you're reaching, so that you stop paying money to reach who you should have been reaching anyway, which is a real scam. And I've tried it, and it doesn't work that well. I don't find Instagram or Facebook advertising much good. It's a lot of self-promotion on different platforms, and it's a lot of work when you're independent. You got to kind of constantly put stuff out there, you know, constantly kind of putting new stuff out there, and trying to keep relevant all the time, and kind of that's the only way you can do it, really, by keeping things interesting, coming up with unique ideas. That's pretty much the only way you can get stuff out there these days, by you know,
very much
doing all that social media stuff, which is annoying. You know, it is annoying, but it's hopefully there's better ways in the future to get your name out there.
Same here as well. And where can people find your music?
So all the platforms, pretty much. I put them through all the platforms, so like Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, Napster, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, TikTok. You can find all my songs. I'm on
Bandcamp as well. So
Bandcamp. I do. That's one of my favourites. Bandcamp. metalmattgothic.bandcamp.com. So yeah, you can find and download it all pretty easy. You just gotta get on Google or whatever, or DuckDuckGo is the preferable, and have a good search and you'll find my stuff.
Yeah, I'll just be under Metal Matt. So
yeah, and YouTube, there's a lot of stuff. Trying to grow my YouTube again because my old channel got deleted at 16k subscribers. I'm having to build it all up again. So yeah, check out. I've got 2 YouTube channels, just Metal Matt, which is where all my original stuff goes, and Metal Matt Covers channel, which has all my other stuff. The covers, that's just covers pretty much on the covers channel, obviously. So yeah, subscribe to both channels, and then you'll hopefully see what I'm up to, because I keep them very up to date, you know.
Is it hard to write songs, and how long does it take you to do that?
Funny enough, I can work really fast. I have a song written in about half hour usually, or an hour.
Really?
Yeah, I like to have the music done first by whoever I'm working with, which is Carmine, like I say, these days, and I hope to continue with him into the future. So Carmine does a lot of stuff, and he'll come up with some music, and sometimes I'll sort of say how I want the music, and sometimes he'll just come up with something. I think the King of Hearts, he just had that, and it was a beautiful piece of music, and he is doing a little acoustic thing of it at the moment, classical guitar sound version, and it sounds amazing. So hopefully that'll be out there at some point. But yeah, basically, to get to what you're saying, so how long does it take? He'll do some music, and I will just sit down and I'll just write it, like I say, within half hour or an hour. The main things I try and think of is a catchy chorus, and I try and dig deep for the lyrics to make them interesting. So yeah, the lyrics can come very fast. Yeah, I'm never struggling for days on lyrics. I get them written in one go.
Yeah. That's
good. Yeah, I think the vision as well. Whilst you got the vision, is the best time to get all the words down, because you kind of have this, when you first start doing a song, you have this idea and it's really good in your head. But if you left it to the next day, you might forget. It just goes away. The kind of vibe or whatever you had in mind will change. Whereas I like to keep exactly how it was when you thought of it. So yeah, that's that really.
That's what happens. Same here, mate. It's just goes out your mind completely, and you have to think about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So next question. What's the next one? So when you started performing on the streets in Bristol, what is it to be? What is it like?
What, performing on the street?
Yeah, you started performing on the streets in Bristol. What is that to be like?
It's been all right, yeah. I'm doing that just because it's I've done so much online stuff that I've never done that much in person. I mean, I did a lot of open mics actually, which were fun for a while. And I used to jam with this house band, and that was really fun. And we just jam out to my songs, and they kind of make improv kind of things, improvisation. And yeah, I did that for a few years, but then I just got right into just online and doing the music videos and that, which I like. I do like coming up with something really good, and I try and do it perfect and do a really cool video, and I do it just for the people out there. Really, I want people to enjoy it and get something out of it, like I do out of the bands that I grew up with and all that stuff. So yeah, but recently I sort of wanted to get out on the street, because I'd always had it in mind I could do some busking. I thought, I don't really like the idea of busking, but I thought if I had the amp and all that, I thought it's like your own gig, you know. It's not really busking, it's like you're just turning up with your amp and playing. And
yeah,
I thought, yeah, I don't like just turning up with a guitar, but if you can have a proper speakers and all that, which now I do, I started doing it. It went down really well. Yeah, I got massive crowds of people, which I didn't expect, especially when I started, because nightclubs weren't open at that point, and everyone was just coming out to jam out to what I was doing, and it was crazy, you know. Yeah, it can be crazy because I do it on Saturday nights a lot. You get a lot of drunks, and you get a lot of like You get violent people from now and again, time from time. You get kind of just aggressive people walking by sometimes, but there's a lot of nice people, and that is the main thing. Most people enjoy it, rock out, give you money, all the good things. So I don't worry about the few idiots who might come by, but you have got to be careful. It's certainly not a safe job, busking. You've got to watch your back quite a bit, because there are a lot of dodgy people around, but overall there's a lot of nice as well, and I've had a lot of good feedback from people. I met some really nice people whilst doing it, and duetted. I'm always up for people just getting up and singing with me. I had a nice girl the other day who joined me. She was looking for an open mic, and she obviously didn't find one. She had a guitar and all that, and I said, oh, come and sing a couple of songs, and she did, and it was really nice. We sang a Rihanna, and she sang some other artist, I can't think, Beyonce or something like that.
Like pop covers,
can't remember who it was, but yeah, so she had fun. It was just good jamming with someone. I quite like just jamming with someone now and again, and yeah, it was cool.
Thank you. Sounds great. Sounds great. That story. That's a great story. Probably one. That's a great one. And so the next one then. Where's it? Where am I again? And where can your fans expect what can your fans expect in the future from Metal Matt?
Oh, what can they expect in the future? I'm always trying to surprise everyone. Yeah, what can people expect? Just to be kept on their toes, really, and there's always something new and different. I'm they always said Barry was a bit of a chameleon, and he'd like take things from other artists and be kind of his own unique entity. I guess I'm a chameleon in a different way. I like ever changing. I just always enjoy changing my style and my sound. And I always like keeping people on their toes. They don't know if they're going to get 80s sounding synth pop or if they're going to get black metal, and that's how I like it. And it keeps it interesting. I mean, why stick with just one genre? I think music can be enjoyed on many levels, and like me and my sound, and then I think, well, whether they're a metalhead or not, they might enjoy what I'm doing because it's coming from me, and if I can explore different styles, then maybe they can too. And I think it's good to be open to different styles and listen to different stuff, because there's a lot of good music out there.
Totally, mate. Totally. It's good to sort of change the style every time. I do appreciate that as well.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Good stuff. So, where did the name Metal Matt come from, and did you come up with that?
Did I come up with it? No, I did not come up with it. This guy came up with it. In fact, I can tell the story in photographs. So this man here, which is Rob Holford, a Judas Priest.
Yeah, of course.
He sent me a Christmas card, which is this Christmas card. And he wrote Metal Matt on the envelope, and Merry Metal Christmas Matt. And I remember chatting with his sister on Facebook, and I said, oh, I might use that name, from now on. She said, oh, you should. At least you can say he gave it to you then. And I thought, yeah, for sure, he was my hero for years, with Priest and all that. He's my favourite vocalist, so it was kind of like... it's the coolest thing I could have, a name by Rob Holford. Not many musicians can say that, so I use that proudly, and I try and do him proud with keeping metal alive, keeping that vocal style alive, that high singing vocal style. So that's how I got the name. That's
great to hear. Great to hear that the metal god gave you that name. Indeed, that was great.
It is cool.
Next question then, so I come up with, and what else do you do apart from music?
It's hard to say. Well, I do. I'm not that exciting, so I do like. I like my own space quite a lot. So I go to the cinema a lot. I've got a cinema pass, and I spend many a day at the cinema. I just pay like a little bit a month, and then I get to see all the films I want, and so I've subscribed to that, and I'm always at the cinema. I love movies. I love the whole atmosphere of the cinema, and the kind of I've always been into filmmaking and stuff, so it's always great watching films and I love it. So yeah, I'm a real film buff and
Yeah,
fanatic, I guess. And I can watch lots of different kinds of films and really enjoy them. I'm not stuck on anything particularly. I always liked horror and psychological thrillers and stuff, but I can watch anything because I do at the cinema because I got the pass. I see like everything that's out. So if you ever need film recommendations, come to me because I would have seen all of them. You know.
yeah,
But I do.
pretty much every film.
Yeah, yeah. I like nature and stuff. I've always been into nature. Done a bit
So
of
that,
wildlife photography over the years. There's a little documentary on YouTube which I did with Cam, my friend, about common lizards in Bristol. These are viviparous lizards which are wild in the city. So I did a little thing about that, and I was on the One Show as a kid when I was about 13.
yeah, actually, I didn't
Yeah,
even know that.
talking about the lizards. So that's how I started off. Really, that was my first TV thing. I guess that's how I got into media so much, and I guess that's where it kept. You know, I kept going on that. But I went to music. But yeah, I was very much on the route of wildlife, and I wanted to be a wildlife presenter and all that stuff. And yeah, and I did. Yeah, I was on the One Show with my photography, taking photos. They were filming me taking photos of the lizards and sort of. Yeah, with the presenter Mike Dilger, so that was cool. But I don't know if I could even find that footage now. It's somewhere, but I don't know where.
Yeah, you can't get everything in the one show. So much they've done every day, every night.
No, it would be cool to see it. It'd be, yeah, people would be surprised to see it. I'm sure. I looked a lot.
It's all forgotten now. Eh? Like the news, that's the thing. Yeah, it's good to hear. And is anything else just to go on to that one, or?
So wildlife photography, movies. Not really. I don't do a whole lot more than that. Just
Right.
you know, nature stuff basically. I like nature and I like films, and that's about it.
Same here as well. Get myself out in nature. That's
Yeah, that's cool.
So the next one then, what was it like singing with Steel Panther?
It was
What was
really,
it like singing with Steel Panther?
yeah. So I've already kind of said that, but basically, yeah, just awesome. It was just surreal. I mean, the feeling. I was so nervous. I remember I was like clenching onto my knees in the thing of seeing me like this, singing, but I was like shaking, so I had to like grip and really focus.
Yeah.
Singing in that style is very nerve-wracking because it's one thing singing like hello, and then it's another thing like because you want to make sure the notes come out right, and when you're really nervous, so I really composed myself and like focused, and you can see I loosen up a bit as the thing goes on, but I had the lyrics there mainly because I didn't want to fuck up the lyrics because, you know, I know the song so well, but I can't guarantee I'll sing it right word for word, you know. So I had the words. It looks a bit weird because I'm there like that on my phone, like you know, singing, but I loosen up a bit as it goes by, and you can see Satchell's really enjoying himself and smiling as he does it, and so it was a blast. They're really nice guys. They're the best band around. They are just the nicest guys in metal for sure.
Last of me sort of glam bands that sort of glam metal sort of thing coming.
Yeah, it's good. They're keeping that sound alive, and with the humour element they add to it, I don't think it would work this day and age without that humour. And just by bringing that humorous element in, everyone fucking takes to it, you know, which is great. Because if they didn't have that, you know, they probably would have been like, oh, no one wants to listen to hair metal these days. But when you hear how fucking good they are, and the humour is brilliant as well. And it shows they just don't take metal too seriously, and no one should, because it isn't serious. Wearing leather and screaming is not serious. So.
No.
You know, people
not take like not like any other band. Sometimes they do. The next question then. And what's your favourite place in England?
Good question. I got to think now. I really like Torquay. Actually, it's one of the nicest places I've been. Where else? George Michael's place I went the other day where he used to live, Goring-on-Thames, Goring and Streatley. Really nice, lovely area, lovely little village. That was really nice. I'd go there again. But yeah, Torquay, I'm always drawn, that's the word, to Torquay.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a lot cheaper in the winter, so I go in the winter when it's all cold and horrible. But I don't care. I just like getting away, and so I haven't been there in the summer because it's really expensive hotels and stuff. But I'll be going there in the winter for sure again. So I love Devon and Torquay and all more kind of places.
Great stuff, and good stuff, and a long way from here, but yeah, it's good.
It is, yeah, a long old way.
So I'll go through the questions a bit quicker then. So King of Hearts was a cool song. What was it about?
What was it about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so let me think. It was quite a deep kind of song. It was all about kind of life and death, and I kind of thought about what really makes up life, and I think my gran was in hospital at the time, and it just made me think about life and death, and people who always think they're going to go on forever, and they've got that attitude of like, oh, I'm not going to die anytime soon. It kind of just made me think it's weird, like how people one day it hits you and you are going to die or whatever, and like one day it will, and it's kind of weird, like having a mindset where I think no one really thinks about death that much, and it's a strange thought that it's all about time, and kind of it will run out eventually, and it's just kind of like what makes up life. And I figured, I think is memories is the main thing. When you're old, all you've got is memories, and you look back on what you've done, and that's all you've got. So really it's all about making memories, and then when you die, it's like, what then? I think you probably carry on and stuff, and as a kind of energy kind of thing, I think we carry on in some way, I'm sure of it. But yeah, I guess the song really, I was just in a weird mindset where I was just thinking about everything, and it's all about time, took me back to and sort of stuff like that. And I'm just talking about how things what makes up life, and it is time. I think that was the main message. It's all about time. When your time runs out, that's it. So you've got to embrace every moment
to make the most of it. That's what you need. Try and get towards the braces. What does run out, that's what you need.
Exactly. And make happiness. Do what makes you happy. Don't just be stuck in this dead end job and do 9 to 5 and not living. Live. Do stuff you wouldn't always do.
Yeah.
Ice cream van going by.
Ice cream van with Steve. I heard that.
I might go and get one.
Yeah. We'll have this there to be fast, and then you can get the ice cream when it comes back.
It's so hot, I need an ice cream. But carry on.
I think the next question I was going to get to, and I saw you had Mantos from Venom did an intro for the music video. How cool was that?
Yeah, he did do an intro. I was interviewing him. He did, we did a cool interview actually, about an hour. We chatted all about metal and spiritual stuff and all sorts of things. And he's a legend, from Venom, like you say. He's the first band to start black metal, and it's not a black metal song, the King of Hearts, but it was just cool to have a legend like that come on and do an intro, so we did like a nice little intro at the start of the video if you haven't seen it already. He just said, oh, this is Metal Matt, the King of Hearts, and he agreed to do it on the end of the interview. I said to him, oh, you wouldn't mind doing an intro, and then he obviously liked the song because he called me Mr. King of Hearts or something like that.
Good name for me. That's good.
Yeah, a few weeks later, I was on his live chat, and he said, "Oh, hello, Mr. King of Hearts." So he obviously liked it. So that was a cool little thing. I always try and get someone in on the projects because it makes it more interesting.
Yeah, that sounds good then, mate. And glad to you had them on there. So that's another great musician there to add to the tower of names.
Yeah, he is great. So it's good.
Yeah, totally. So another one I'll do, and so I've got quite a few questions to ask you still. And do you, will you do any more synth music? Is it very difficult from metal to music, from the metal music you do?
Yeah, it's different, the synth stuff, but I'd love to do some synth stuff. I've just got nobody who can do it for me at the moment. I'd be doing synth left, right, and centre if I could, but I need someone who can make the synth music for me. Zachary, who used to do a lot of stuff with me, he was a good guy and he did it for a long time, and I think he's just got other stuff going on now. But he approached me on YouTube, and he's the one who kind of started off me sounding good with the producing side of things. He was the first person who started actually properly mixing my stuff, and he did it voluntarily. He just contacted me on YouTube, commented, said, "Oh, I can mix some of this stuff and do it properly if you want." And for a few years, we did a lot of songs, Extinction, which is a great black metal song, and Faithfully Yours, all that stuff. But he also was great at doing synth stuff, so he did that Future song with John. He did the music on that, brilliant 80s sounding synth, and he did Wake Up, another synth song, and Aesthetically Pleasing, another synth song of mine, and really 80s sounding track. So he was brilliant. He could do both, and that was great. But yeah, he didn't really get time by the looks of it now. So yeah, I need someone else who can make me some synth music, so because I'm always up for doing synth. But the good news is I'm always going to be doing rock and metal with this Carmine guy. You know, we've got so many ideas. We got an alien theme coming up soon, so yeah, we've got so many different ideas. You know, there will be a lot of that still coming, rock and metal and different types of rock and metal. But the only thing you can't do is synth, so I just need someone to now and again do a synth song for me. And,
yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult, but I think I'm sure you'll manage to find someone.
Yeah, we'll get it.
But I'm looking forward to the one song. It should be great.
Yeah, definitely. It's a bit rocky as well, so you'll like it.
Yeah, totally, mate. And so another question I'll ask you is what is your favourite 80s song?
Say that again.
What's your favourite 80s song?
I like Spin Me Round. Let's do some of that.
Yeah, it's a good guitar fun, yeah.
Thanks. Boy, that's me. You look like you're lots of fun. You spin me right round, baby, right round like a record, baby, right round, round, round. You spin me right round, baby, right round like a record, baby. There you go.
That's the song, yeah, totally.
That's
the
a good one.
Song.
I like a lot of 80s stuff, so I like.
Yeah, Pete Burns, of course. And is it Dead or Alive or something? I don't know.
Say that again.
Is it Dead or Alive? They're called?
Dead or Alive, that's right. Yeah, Dead or Alive.
That's the one.
Yeah, Pete Burns, that one. So I like that one. I like Careless Whisper, George Michael. I love a lot of George Michael. Bronxy Beat, Erasure, Depeche Mode, all that kind of stuff. I love that synthy stuff. Morrissey, but he didn't do that, but he was 80s stuff. But I actually love his modern stuff probably more. He's fantastic these days. The stuff he's coming out with is brilliant.
Yeah, that sounds great. It sounds great, mate. It's a good. That's your favourite song, and Spinning Like Line Day. So what's your favourite metal band?
Favourite metal band? I've always said Judas Priest, so I'll stick with that. Yeah, there's nothing else that's grabbed me like Judas Priest. You know, I get bored of saying it now because I've said it so many times, but it's not going to change because
everyone must know you still like Priest. Then that's the main thing.
Yeah, they're brilliant, Priest. I love the voice and the guitars. You know, KK Dang, an amazing guitarist. You know, I love that kind of wild style. There's no one like them. You know, they got a bit of Hendrix in there, and they got the amazing, unique voice. You know. It's that kind of just a unique sound, you know, all round really. So, yeah.
That's great. Good to hear that one. So another one I'll ask you. I see you don't just do metal music. You started interviewing rock stars, and what has that been like? And who have you interviewed?
Yeah, I've interviewed a few different rock stars by now. Yeah. Yeah, so I've interviewed Satchel from Steel Panther. After doing the singing with him and that, he was up for an interview, so we did a Skype interview. I've done Mantis from Venom, and I've done KK Downing of Judas Priest, and that was the only one I did in real life. That was a real life, you know, interview. And
that one actually.
That was crazy because I had to do everything myself, and you know, I just contacted sort of people, you know, to do with him, and sort of said I want to interview and that, and then I got one, and I turned up, and you know, it was just me. I had me and a camera and a microphone, which I had to clip onto him, and all this stuff. And I had to think about everything and make sure it was all running whilst doing the interview and acting kind of casual. I had 2 cameras going, which I had to get up now and again and sort of move them around and stuff. and make sure they're rolling.
It's like a podcast, pretty much.
So much, yeah, and it was all just me having to do it all. So it was like but it was brilliant. It was kind of like I had in mind like one of those Piers Morgan life stories where he sits down with someone and talks about their life, like a nice lengthy thing. And that's what I like. I don't like short interviews. I like real in-depth, interesting ones you can just chill out and watch. And that's what I did. And yeah, it's got 20,000 odd views now on YouTube, so I'm happy with that.
That's probably the best one you've done then. Definitely.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So I'll ask you another question. And what's the nicest metal musician you met? Who's the nicest metal musician you met?
Probably, like I say, KK and Satchel. They're the nicest, KK, he's so down to earth and kind of keep in touch with him a lot still, and he's really nice and supportive of the music I do, and he actually really liked those sort of comedy videos I've done. I've done these kind of metalhead meme videos where I'm like shopping in the supermarket as a metalhead and all this stuff, which you can find on TikTok and YouTube and all that.
Yeah.
And Instagram.
So the Viking one, I saw that one.
Yeah, those kind of little prank kind of video thing. He really liked them. Yeah, he was having a laugh at them. He got back to me and said he liked them, so that was cool. And
that's good.
Nice. And Satchel, he's so down to earth and real about stuff, and we have some good chats. And but he's one of the nicest people I've met as well. Just no ego, just totally. He's cool, and he's an amazing player, but just they don't have any ego, and that's what I like. I don't like people with egos, they're completely grounded, nice people. So probably those two are probably I'd say the best.
Yeah, those sound guys, definitely, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
What is the secret ingredient for a successful musician?
Secret ingredient for a successful musician? Being unique, I think. I'd say, just trying to bring something that no one else has done, keeping it fresh, good titles of the songs that people are going to be searching at, whether they know you or not, themes, a lot of thought goes into everything I do for songs, the title is very important, the sound, the look, the image which comes with it, because I know it's often image which people are drawn to with musicians, and people love to see something new and different, and so I try and always keep it fresh like that and keep it kind of interesting. So always keep it interesting. That I think that's the secret ingredient, and just keeping real, I think, as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just dig out some nice things, and then you'll get there. That's what I mean. So the next question: are there any metal bands you can't stand?
Any metal bands?
This will be a fun one.
Metallica. I don't get all the buzz about Metallica, and I don't really get the buzz about Megadeth either. Anthrax, I'd say, are one of the only thrashy bands I kind of like the sound of, but I don't really listen to them. But I like that he's got a really good voice. Whereas I feel with Metallica and Megadeth, I don't get it. I'm all about voices. I know they're more about riffs and all that sort of stuff. Bands.
Yeah, it's about the sound sometimes.
Yeah, I can't really stand Metallica. I think they're way overrated. When you got a band as amazing as Judas Priest, which don't get half as much attention as Metallica, I just can never understand it. And I think Iron Maiden too. I don't really like them. I don't like the repetitiveness of their music. It's kind of the same old stuff all the time.
You can tell by Maiden song when you listen to it as well.
Exactly. Sometimes that's a band's niche, so that's it works for them. So fair enough. But I just like bands that keep stuff interesting, like Judas Priest. No album's the same. No album's the same.
Yeah. Totally. I wouldn't stand Metallica. In my opinion, I wouldn't stand Metallica nowadays. Well, they're not as flashy as they were, so I would go that way as well. I wouldn't want to see them. I would see them back.
I think there's better bands for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, totally, mate. So I think we've got the last few questions to ask you.
Yeah, I'll try and answer them a little bit quicker.
Yeah. So what's the best concert you've ever been to? The best concert.
Best concert. Alice Cooper was really cool. I remember because I loved it. I grew up on Alice, like big time. He was the main guy for me for years, and all the obscure stuff I grew up on, like a Dragontown album and From the Inside album, not just Schools Out and all the well-known stuff, like the really unwell-known stuff. I just loved it. And I saw him for the first time in about 2011, I think, and he was right there in my face singing at the Colston Hall in Bristol. He was like this close, it was insane, Judas Priest.
Steal the mic off almost out of me. That's
good almost, yeah. Judas Priest, another really good, amazing live. I remember, I think I had tears in my eyes the last time I saw them, because I realised how important the music was to me by being there. It was like, it just made me sort of emotional, which is weird. But yeah. So I think that's the best ones I've been to.
That's good then. And anything else, or we'll move on to the next question?
Yeah, might as well.
So in the music industry has changed a lot in modern times. What do you think the future of music and metal and music in general will it be like?
It has changed. The industry has changed a hell of a lot. Yeah, it really has. I don't know. I think record companies have always been out to screw people, because in the 80s you hear these musicians who were really well known but didn't make a cent from it. And I think, nowadays there's so much control. I think in the 80s there wasn't the control, because, the bands were so unique. Look at Bronxy Beat, look at Boy George Michael, all of these people, Visage, they were so unique, each one. You can tell that they come up with it, they thought these ideas, but they were still robbed, I think, by the record companies. They didn't make money. Whereas nowadays, I think you don't have the creative control like you did in the 80s, and you probably don't make the money much either, but there might be slightly tighter things where you do make money with labels now, whereas in the 80s they could probably rip you off even more, but at least you had creative control. So it's never been a good thing, really. There's always been pros and cons. That's why I stick away from the industry, the music industry, and I just do it all myself online. And the hardest bit is getting it out there to people, because they shadow ban you and they make it hard for you to reach your audience. But I just keep pumping it out, and as long as there's people who are watching my stuff, I don't care. I'm not out for numbers. There's a lot of people who've seen who I am and know who I am, and I've been recognized in the street a few times and stuff, so that's enough for me. As long as I know my name's out there a bit, cool. I don't want to be invisible. That's annoying as an artist, but I know that people are seeing my stuff. TikTok, people have been finding my music, who don't even know me, and using it on their videos. So it's kind of like, to me, that's success, and I'm happy with that. And I'm not sort of looking for this big record label thing. And all I'd like is some more money. It'd be nice to make more money, but not many people do in this industry. But you do it for the love of it, and like I say, I'm not part of the industry, so that's what I like. I'm just doing my own thing and keeping it real, really. And I think that's the best way to be, just be as real as possible. Because lots of people aren't, and they kind of sell out and stuff, and
the big names obviously, like they just sell out shows and that. Touring musicians and that as well.
Yeah.
So okay. So another question, but are you a happy person?
Am I a happy person?
Yeah.
Some of the time. But no, not overall. I'm not really. I'm pretty, I guess I'm a thinking person. My mind's always like, I'm not very good at just sizzling down, just, having a nice calm mind. I'm always thinking about stuff, or anxiety and stressing about things.
Yeah.
I've always had anxiety since I was a teenager and stuff, and I've always, especially social anxiety and stuff, but I've managed to overcome that just by putting myself out there and getting a mindset where, like, I don't really care about people anymore, like what they think or anything. So I've sort of got in a mindset where I just do what I want, and whereas I used to be like awful in college and stuff, I used to like hold my breath walking through crowds of people and sort of excel when I got to the other side of them, and like, it would just, I'd hate sort of people being around me and kind of in a self-conscious kind of way, and it was it's been weird. It's been a weird ride, but I'm glad I'm a bit more confident now, at least. But I'm not confident in everyday life. I'm still pretty keep myself to myself and do my own thing, and I don't have loads of friends and stuff. I just do my own stuff, most of the time, so it's kind of I keep myself happy for the most part, and you know, do stuff I enjoy. Take myself somewhere new, you know, holiday, travel about a bit, and you know, and meet some people. I meet some people. I went to Reading. I met a really nice guy there, and in this club, and we got on really well. And you know, stuff like that's nice when it just happens spontaneously, you know.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
That's what you need. You need something like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, what music have you been listening to recently?
What music have I been listening to recently? So I've been listening to Morrissey a lot. Yeah.
In your latest edition, then Morrissey, then from the Smiths.
I love Morrissey. Yeah, his latest album, "I'm Not a Dog on a Chain," is brilliant. It's so real, and a lot of people don't like him, but it's because he's so real. I say a lot of people don't. A lot of people love him. You know, I've watched on YouTube. I've never seen fans mob an artist like they do Morrissey. He's got such a big fan base.
Yeah.
But before I got into him, all I heard about is people hating him and stuff. And then I've watched his interviews and listened to his music, and he's one of the most interesting, greatest people I've ever seen, and creative and amazing lyricist, great voice. The music's fantastic. He's real. He doesn't bullshit anyone. He's just real and open. And yeah, so I've been listening to a lot of Morrissey, and it's been quite inspiring. It's sort of made my mind quite good at. It's made me quite musical. I've been writing sort of well since I've been listening to Morrissey, you know. That song 3 I did was kind of there's a little bit of a Morrissey vibe in there where I say something about the monarchy. Don't trust the monarchy or something. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a good song, mate. Good song.
Cheers, I'm glad you like that one. Yeah, so it was fun filming it in the hot tub and all that. And
yeah, totally. I saw that as well. Yes. So I think I've got so another question. Have you released any albums?
Yeah, I've released a few albums. So Sonic Love. Actually, the first one I did was Metal Mat Acoustic, then Sonic Love, then Light and Dark, then Nightmare. And it's a very I used to make all the CDs and everything, which I don't bother with that now, but I do have them online for people to download on Bandcamp, metalmatgothic.bandcamp.com. But yeah, I used to do a lot of CDs and stuff and albums. Now I just sort of release the songs as they are, as singles, you know, mainly. Yeah. But I'm thinking I've got so many songs now, I've got enough for a new album, so I might just put a new album out on Bandcamp at some point, because I got tons of stuff I can put on there, you know, Burn the Priest, Future, all these different songs. Yeah, 4 albums I think in total, and you can hear the progression. Like Metal Mat Acoustic is really basic, really, and then Sonic Love gets a little bit more interesting. Light and Dark, I'm sort of experimenting a lot and trying to sort of find my way. And then Nightmare, that's a pretty solid album. It's got good tracks, well produced, well mixed, and a couple of obscure ones on there, but mainly really good songs. So Nightmare's the best of the albums, and that was done a few years ago now, so it's crazy. It's my most recent album, but it's still sort of not new.
Yeah.
You know?
That's good then. Good stuff. Good to get some physical ones as well, and that
yeah.
Makes sense. So I think this could be the second to last question now. And so, what has been the best experience you've had as a musician?
Best experience I've had as a musician. That is hard. Yeah, it's hard to say. I guess performing on the streets lately and having big crowds around me who are really enjoying it and stuff, that's a real buzz, you know, and having people, you know, it's been nice to get some actual in-person feedback, because I've done so much online.
Yeah.
So now that I've started doing a bit of performing on the street, which takes a lot of, you know, enthusiasm, which I haven't got sometimes, but I just muster it up and go down there. But yeah, I guess seeing that reaction face to face and having people say, you know, they enjoy what I'm doing and stuff, that's probably one of the best things you can get, really. Yeah, that instant feedback, you know, from people, and just know that you're bringing something nice to someone's day, you know, someone's walking by and you're singing their favorite song, or they just like what you're doing, you know. It's a nice thing, you know. Music's one of the best things, you know, and, you know, I feel like I'm actually going out and giving it to the people now, rather than letting people just find it. Go, and then people enjoy it, you know, and that's the best part. So yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, totally. Glad to hear that, mate. So I think this is actually our last question, mate. But
right.
will there be anything exciting for the fans to look forward to in the next few weeks?
The Alien song, that is the one which I'm going to be working on, which I haven't drafted out the lyrics yet. I've got to sit down, go through the lyrics. I'm going to really try and get my brain in the game and come up with a really good track, and it should be really catchy and all that sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
Alien, I really like Carmine actually come up with that idea for the Alien, because it's usually me who comes up with the ideas of themes, and he was like, it might be a bit corny, but how about aliens? I was like, no, it's not corny, it's good, and I want to do it. So yeah, I'm totally up for that Alien idea. So I'm going to do that. So yeah, look forward to the Alien song. That's coming soon. It's going to be cool. It's going to be a cool little rock song, and I'm going to really try and get that one sounding really cool. Get some good lyrics and vocals down on that. So yeah, look out for that. That's something in the next few weeks you can look forward to, and I hope you all enjoy it. And yeah, just keep an eye on the channel and everything, and yeah, keep up to date with it all. Metal Matt.
Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to me today.
That's right.
Totally, and so you can actually check out my metal show on Sam Radio every Thursdays, and of course then 12 until 2 p.m. every Thursdays, Sam Radio Metal Show.
Brilliant. Tune in, everyone. Yeah, tune in to his radio show, and yeah, it's a good metal show. It's all metal, so if you love your metal,
various local bands as well.
I'll put the links in the description as well. And
give me a follow on Mixcloud as well. Make sure you follow me on Mixcloud. I want to try and get to 100 followers on Mixcloud.
Yeah, we've shoved the Mixcloud in the description of the video here. So yeah, bro, Chris, good to chat with you. Thanks for taking the time.
It's been an absolute pleasure, mate. I've really enjoyed that. I appreciate this. This has been a great interview, and so
yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, and do you want to say one more thing, or that's this then?
Yeah, what shall I say? Live fast, die hard.
Yeah, keep it metal.